But I want us to flash back. How did it happen? How was our culture responsible of our well-being? Ebe ekoniboke nono ai enakintoni ijarie joko. Anakitoka kwa pina pakina. First of all, I want to begin from a sexuality point of view. What is known and what has been known is that sex is meant for marriage and for procreation of children. Merekwen. Ebe eraya elo ibore ni timokit la suban anu ale duko kina ido anu awurunyo idwe. Merekwen. That God designed sex for marriage, and this is what our culture knows. Ido ireki yo otoma boyso ni buntoroni. Wherever we have come from, sex outside marriage was an abomination. It is still an abomination up to now. Ebe otoma boyso ni pulutoroni. Aelo kingane dukone era iboreni etal iborene giritai. Merekwen. Ido oinono wakolo itesoda. Even in our culture as it is so. Sex outside marriage remains an abomination. Ebe epaikini aelo neje kingane dukone iborene tal. Ene yong itateker do me chama kintaiti aiswa maunda. It is even worse when it comes to pregnancy outside marriage. I was telling you that in our culture, in our culture as it is so, but also in all cultures in Uganda, pregnancy outside marriage is an abomination, and it's a shame to the family, a shame to the clan, a shame to the nation if you produce outside marriage. Hebe, toma inono okola teker, aya putuno apese. Oma mijao dukone eraibore ni leij neja sauri kakon eraibore ni leij neja ejerakon eraibore ni leij neja ateker, but also eraibore ni leij neja akwa. But what is happening today? Let us have a reflection on what is happening in our community today. Today, having sex outside marriage is what? Is what? Nga elimo kinengo. Aya lok nga ne duko ne rai kwa ndo nyo. Rai nyo? Aya ka sotu muna kiba rai do nyo. Inomo ngoni kona ni nomi mere kwa en. Inomo ngoni kona But now, if you look at the teaching of our culture, it is in union with the teaching of the Catholic Church that sex outside marriage is a sin. The same to our culture that sex outside marriage is an abomination. Boboda, producing children outside marriage is not right. That's also what our culture teaches us. We are going to look at something very sensitive now. But before we go into it, I wanted you to understand what is the perspective of our culture. I'm also speaking as a cultural leader in this concept. In your what does our culture tell us about sexuality? And this is something very important for us young people. Today, the marriages have become weak. The marriages are shaky. Those days, there was no trial version for marriage. There were no returnees from marriage that we call comebacks. Abongoi, Enyamitere, Apalakacha, and everything. Was not there. Asabion. But today, there is a trial version for marriage because the first thing young people go for is sex. Then you love next. Then you propose last. But the first thing is what? Love. First thing is sex. Second thing is love. Then marriage. Then proposing is Ebegiete berekui ai wodi kanyum. Ai nyami kanyum kon. Eda ona nyama jo ingi sete do ngai be konekiro. This is what happens in Okadibong. They first begin by checking your sim. After checking the sim, they will ask you, by the way, what is your name? After they have tested it, Yo Simpson. Obakata ngai be kona kirol. Ba Judy be ngai. Be ngai. But my name is a Judy. Then after mentioning the name, then other steps will now follow, which is a wrong kind of mentality. We are now living in a reciprocated world. We are living in a world which is upside down. What was right has been turned to be wrong. By the way, our beloved priests who are here and the national team, in Teso, but also in Uganda, cutting across, it is now becoming too hard and threatening for you to organize a function, a celebration at home. Those days, if you organize a function, you had the freedom to play music up to morning, not so. But these days, people are tense. People are in fear. If you organize a function and you have a radio and you want to dance trans night, people have fear because Okadibong will come and disorganize everything. Asabion. But young people who are here, we are looking at what our culture was before I address the topic that I've been given to handle this morning. Meaning that we have a big role. As youth in Uganda, as young people in Uganda, we have a role that we shall make our country more peaceful again.